Hello and welcome to our final presentation. Our group decided to look into Burger King's Impossible Whopper campaign. The Impossible Whopper campaign was started in April of 2019, so it's relatively new. So we thought it was kind of interesting because there's still problems associated with it going on currently. Our group consists of Avery, Allison, Perri, Kat, and Spencer. A little bit about Burger King's background to start off. The company was started in 1954 by James McLamore and David Edgerton and was actually started in Miami, Florida. The Whopper debuted in 1957 for only 37 cents, and the pair sold their first franchise in only 1959, which is only 5 years after they started the company. However, after the first franchise was sold, poor management across different franchisees and just poor management from the top down resulted in changes of ownerships 3 times during 1967 to 2006 alone. However, in May of 2006, Burger King became a publicly traded company. Burger King has had a very interesting effect on different advertising and some of the methods that we still use today. And part of that is due to their biggest competitor, McDonald's. McDonald's and Burger King have always been huge competitors. And so from the very beginning, Burger King started utilizing slogans such as, "The burgers are bigger at Burger King," and "The king-size burger you only get at Burger King," to highlight how they were bigger and better than McDonald's. Because McDonald's typically sold a little bit smaller burgers. So Burger King took it the opposite way and started creating, like I said, the Whopper and other just big burgers to seem like they were better. In the 1980s, Norman Brinker took over management of Burger King, and he was credited with some of the first political style attack ads. And as we all know, political style attack ads kind of like nitpick on different little details about other competitors. So fast food industry started using this, and it led to the burger wars between Burger King and McDonald's. And these ads started using each other's logos, and as we know, McDonald's has Ronald McDonald, and Burger King has the King, who advertises their burgers. But each company started using these things in their advertisement to poke fun at each other and just try to assert their dominance in the fast food industry. And both of these companies are still kind of using these advertisements today. However, they're using them in more fun ways and kind of have become a little bit more creative with it on platforms such as Twitter, where it's allowed a little bit more interaction. But as you can see, this advertisement down in the right-hand corner, the moral is to never trust a clown. Burger King put this ad out soon after the It movie came out, with the scary clown, of course. But they're also poking fun at Ronald McDonald. And here I have a video from 1986, which is actually one of the first political style attack ads like that I was talking about, where Burger King pokes some fun at McDonald's.
Decisions. Should you stop for a McDLT or should you stop for a Whopper? The McDLT is fried, so it tastes, well, fried. The Whopper is flame broiled to taste more like a backyard barbecue. The McDLT is the one they'd rather serve their way. The Whopper is fixed your way, to your taste, all of which should make your basic decision very simple. This is a Burger King town. We know how burgers should be.
You see, they just poked a little fun at McDonald's, saying that they like to have it their way, and Burger King, you can have it your way. But however, over the years, these two companies have actually started using their rivalry for good. This campaign, A Day Without Whopper, was ran, I think, in Australia, where Burger King decided to not sell a single Whopper in 107 of their restaurants worldwide. And that actually resulted in McDonald's selling almost 74,000 more Big Macs than last year's. But I forgot to say, like, McDonald's was donating $2 per Big Mac that they sold. So they call it McHappy Day. So Burger King actually wanted to give McDonald's some of their consumers in order to help donate to McDonald's charity. So like I said, they sold almost 74,000 more Big Macs than in previous years. And of course, it was good publicity for Burger King and it helped out McDonald's. So it was kind of mutually beneficial for both companies. And the campaign that we decided to look further into for our final project of Burger King's was their 100% Whopper and 0% beef campaign. This campaign, like I said, was started about in April of 2019, and it was made to promote Burger King's new plant-based Impossible Whopper. And with the Impossible Whopper and throughout this campaign, they wanted to drive home the idea that even though it's plant-based meat, you can't taste the difference from their regular Whopper, which had been around since like 1959. This is a taste test that they did with some of their biggest Whopper fanatics, and I'll let you watch it.
We conducted an experiment to evaluate how well Whopper fans know their beloved Whopper. The people you will see here are real people, and these are their real reactions.
I've probably eaten about 2 Whoppers a week for the last 20 years.
I love Whoppers. I've turned Burger King into a crime scene in time or two. I absolutely love beef. Beef all the way. If it's not beef, I don't want it. First bite, I would know the difference between beef and whatever else you have.
Little do they know, their Whopper patty was actually made from plants.
You're f***ing kidding me.
We're not plants.
Wait, what are you talking about?
No animals, just plants.
Really? This is a f***ing cow.
No f***ing cow.
Tastes like a Whopper. Tastes like a Whopper. Tastes like a beef burger.
Made of f***ing beef right here. You see that? That's beef.
We swear, it's not beef.
That's impossible. It tasted just like a Whopper should taste.
Why?
A patty with 0 milligrams of cholesterol, 17 grams of protein, 100% Whopper, and 0% beef. We know it's impossible to believe. The Impossible Whopper, only at Burger King in St. Louis.
I'm confused. I'm reevaluating my life.
So this campaign actually started in St. Louis because they tried it out on a test market there before rolling it out to the rest of the U.S. But as I said, these people were just dumbfounded that this Impossible Whopper tasted so much like the Whopper that they all thought they could distinguish between. This next ad is when they were announcing that they were rolling out the Impossible Whopper to everywhere.
Plans to the opening of a very special restaurant.
Tonight we are at the grand opening of the Impossible Burger restaurant. I love Impossible Burgers. I hunt them down. I camped out at to have the Impossible Burger. I have pictures if you want to see.
And it feels like they're experiencing something big.
And we had some great news for them.
Burger King.
Yep, it's not an Impossible restaurant.
I don't know. I might be disappointed. I might be excited.
I'm so excited. I've been waiting for this. I've been stalking Burger King. The Impossible Whopper is now available in New York City.
Yes, but no. The Impossible Whopper is going nationwide.
Yeah, enough food.
You can taste the flame grill. It's like perfect.
We wouldn't have it any other way.
This is incredible. I'm not going to lie to you.
It's here, and it's in every Burger King everywhere.
Yes, the Impossible Whopper is now available nationwide. You too can go to any Burger King near you and try the Impossible Whopper with a patty made from plants, no beef. Get it while it lasts, only at Burger King.
So again, they were just trying to point out how ecstatic people were to try this plant-based burger, which a lot of regular meat eaters, myself included, weren't really too sold on the idea. But as we can see here, these are just more of some of like their ads that they used throughout the campaign. On the left is their menu ad that they had on their drive-thrus, emphasizing once again the 0% beef and emphasizing it a lot. And on the right hand side, this is actually, if you go to their website to look up the Impossible Whopper, again, it has the slogan driving home the fact that it is 0% beef, which is going to be problematic, as you can see in a second. But it also just has some of the ingredients of the Whopper as well. So, like I said, criticism was very close to follow this campaign. The backlash began when customers realized that the Impossible Burger was being cooked on the same grill as the beef patties. This meant that the plant-based burger was coming into contact with some of the residue of the beef that might have been on the grill, meaning that the product wasn't technically 0% beef, as Burger King had been very insistent upon. And that was not the only problem that this campaign faced, unfortunately. This campaign also was quick to face backlash from different conservative mom groups. As you saw in the first video from this campaign, they blurted out a lot of profanity words throughout the video where people were trying to describe the taste and were very surprised when it wasn't beef. And also in the second video, a lot of moms complained about the person tasting it and saying, "Damn, that's good." They complained that the company made use of profanity, and it shouldn't have, because a lot of these ads were shown to children and children could view them. Consequences of this campaign. Like I said, consumers were very misled by this advertisement, and they were quick to criticize Burger King for this. They said that the Impossible Patty was implied that the Impossible Patty was 100% vegetarian and vegan, when it really wasn't, because if it comes in contact with beef residue, it is no longer vegetarian and vegan. And a lot of consumers began suing Burger King over their misleading claims. One lawsuit that our group looked a little bit more into was the Burger King lawsuit from Philip Williams. He was a vegan who claimed that the Impossible Whopper is contaminated by meat. He claims that since the Whoppers are cooked on the same grill as the regular meat burgers, they are coated in meat byproducts. And like I said, he had viewed these advertisements and felt very misled. He felt like Burger King had advertised them as vegetarian and vegan and didn't deliver on their advertising. However, Burger King began saying that they were not at fault for this. If you look at the fine print, they said that they never explicitly claimed that the burger was completely vegan or vegetarian, and began saying that the information could have been found on their website. And like I have shown you this advertisement earlier, and if I had to guess, I'm going to guess that you didn't notice the little disclaimer down here on the bottom, which I underlined and read for you. It says, "For guests looking for a meat-free option, a non-broiler method of preparation is available upon request." What this little tiny disclaimer says is, yes, the Impossible Whopper can be vegan or vegetarian if you ask for it. However, whenever consumers were ordering this burger at restaurants and at drive-thrus and everything else, they weren't asked if they wanted it prepared a different way or if they wanted it prepared on the grill. If you just ordered it straight off the menu, it was prepared on the grill, thus making it not vegetarian or vegan and not 0% beef. And as our group looked more into this campaign and tried to decide what was just really went wrong with it, we decided that it was forms of deception in the form of a misleading implied claim. The Impossible Whopper campaign failed to pass the 3-part test for deceptive advertising, and left out things that they should have been telling consumers. Like that little disclaimer that I showed you on the page before was only shown on their website. And all of their video advertising on their menus, there was no hint that they needed to be asking for it to be prepared in a different way. You saw both of the videos. Neither one said that vegetarians or vegans needed to order it in a different way. It said that it was a plant-based burger. So the problem can be stemmed from the slogan that Burger King used for this campaign of the 0% beef. This claim can be seen as misleading even if it only has 0.01% of beef from the grill. And people who try to eat vegetarian or vegan were very misled by this advertising and had gone out and were very excited that a fast food restaurant was finally offering a plant-based option, and were met with some false claims. This campaign was also rolled out in other countries, and we looked at the United Kingdom's campaign specifically. Although we know it as the Impossible Whopper, Burger King rolled it out as the Rebel Whopper in the United Kingdom. And much like the US, we have the FTC, or the Federal Trade Commission, which monitors misleading claims and advertising. United Kingdom has the Advertising Standards Authority, ASA. And after a few watchdogs and whistleblowers kind of blew the problems on this burger and campaign, the ASA actually banned the campaign back in January for being misleading to consumers. And as our group kind of came up with solutions, we found 2 solutions. The first one, they would have to actually change their campaign, and we know that they have spent a lot of money on advertising dollars, but they want to make sure that they keep consumers happy and don't mislead consumers. So we suggest going back to the drawing board of the campaign and just make sure that they're not implying it's vegetarian and vegan. By saying it is 0% beef, you are telling people that there are absolutely no meat, no byproducts, or anything else in it. And that was just not the truth. So we suggested that advertisements kind of focus more on the burgers being plant-based, which there's some people that are trying to eat a more plant-based lifestyle and not necessarily giving up meat. And they should just be kind of clear that they're targeting more of those consumers than vegetarian and vegans, because if it is still going to touch meat byproducts, it's not satisfying to vegetarians and vegans. And they just need to make sure the disclaimer that they had on their website of like you can get it fixed a different way or that the burger may touch meat, their disclaimer needs to be a lot more clear to consumers. Solution 2, like we said, since they already spent a lot of advertising money on this campaign and it has rolled out to other countries as well, this solution is more of a restaurant solution than fixing the campaign. They could keep the campaign going, but fix the problem of the Impossible Patty touching meat byproduct by implementing that restaurants get separate grill toppers or kind of section off a separate grill space for the Impossible Whopper. If they have all of their restaurants implement this, that would take away the meat touching real beef and everything like that and be able to satisfy consumers' need for a clean plant-based burger. And Burger King is not new to advertising problems. In the past, through their aggressive advertising techniques of political style attack ads and just they kind of try to push the envelope on their advertising and kind of catch people's attention. However, this has got them in sticky situations in the past. Obviously, the left, that one's pretty bad to begin with, and I know we've talked about it in class. And also the one on the right, I think they used it in Asia maybe, but people were very upset showing the people eating the burger with chopsticks. But in conclusion, Burger King especially needs to be careful with their advertising campaigns. We suggest they kind of just think through their campaigns a little more. And although we understand trying to push the envelope a little bit more and be relevant, just be smart and try to be truthful and ethical in their advertising. And for all of the students in the class also, as you move forward in your career, just make sure you're trying to achieve ethical responsibility to your consumers and follow your own ethical guidelines throughout your advertising career. And we just want to thank you for a great semester.